Okay, guys, let's talk about this HJM tri-hauler just a little bit. I've ridden probably 20 to 30 miles on it so far, and it's a great bike. There is no doubt about that. There are a couple things that I would like to see improved on this. The handlebars, to me, should be more of a straight design than the design that you're seeing on the handlebars now. The other thing I'd like to see on the torque, it's very responsive, which is good and bad, because if you just want to throttle home, you have to really be careful of that torque, because it is it's very, shall I say, torquey. I mean, you just barely touch that thing and you're going to take off. So I'd like to see them tone that down a little more of an even transition on the throttle instead of the jerkiness to it. So I think that's important. The price point on this thing is definitely, I think, worth the $25.99 if a couple of these things could be changed a little bit on the Trike itself. As far as the suspension goes, it does extremely well. I do have a suspension seat post put on this. That helped quite a bit. And also the ride is very smooth. So from a Trike standpoint, I had one little tipping issue before I put the second battery behind the seat post. I had just a little tipping issue on the Trike, which is minor, but I wanted to make you aware of it, that I think putting that extra 10-pound battery behind the seat post actually helped the tipping issue, because it balanced the bike a little bit better in the rear of the Trike. But other than that, I think it's a great buy. I think it's something that you folks, that if you can afford to do the $25.99 on the Trike, I think it's well worth it. The range on this thing is fascinating. It'll get you between probably 100 to 150 miles if you got dual battery setup. I think that's very important. And as far as the speed, I love the speed now that I de-restricted it, where I can do 25 mile per hour now instead of 15 mile per hour as well. Now, with that said, you got to be careful now when you're getting up to those kind of speeds on a Trike, because you've got those two wheels in the rear that you got to be careful of them coming off the ground at high speeds if you do any turning at all. So be aware of that as well. But as far as the quality of the build of the bike, it's just a very well built bike. It's got aluminum frame. I believe the Newton meters on this torque, excuse me, must be up somewhere around 80 to 95 Newton meters of torque, because it's so responsive. I love the turn signals on this thing. I love the information center where you can get different analytics on your ride as well. But you know, I think of the Trikes that I have reviewed, this one at $25.99 I think is a really good buy. So folks, there's a couple quirks that I had on the first couple rides on this, but I ironed them out, I believe. So I don't see anything being a real issue for you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you and let you know what I think about it. And let's go ahead and enjoy the rest of our ride home. So if you guys are want to look at Trikes at the price point at $25.99 this one's at. Now they have another one for $19.99. It's got the 500 watt motor in the front, maybe a 750 in the front. This one's got 1,000 in the rear. The first Trike back to him, because I took the first ride within 0.2 of a mile, the bolt shredded on the back gear. So which tells me they didn't tighten those bolts down before they shipped it. That was a big negative right off the bat to me. And I didn't really want to bring that up, because that could have just been a manufacturing situation where they probably were going to lunch and they hand tightened those and didn't finish tightening them down. Maybe at $18.99 it would be worth the money, but not at $25.99. Folks work too hard for their money to be thrown away on these trikes. And again, if you are a shorter rider, you may have a hard time getting on this trike. If you're 5'5", 5'6", I'm not sure you could ride this trike and have your feet on the ground. I really don't. Because I'm 6 feet tall and I got the seat post almost all the way down. I don't think this comes in different sizes. But if it does, if some of you folks own this and know that, or the company wants to leave a message for me down there, if you have a smaller one, that might be something a smaller rider needs to look at. But not this size bike for somebody short. Now, there's no doubt it's a fun trike to ride. I'm not real crazy about the handlebars, the way they come back into you. I would rather have the straight out handlebars. And that may be part of my problem on having to reach a little bit, the way these handlebars are designed. Do a little bit of throttle riding here. This throttle on this thing is really, to me, is too responsive. I mean, it kind of jumps when you just barely touch it. Now, I may be able to change that in the settings to where I can slow that down a little bit. But I'm doing 23 mile an hour, and that's really too fast on a trike. Almost 24 mile an hour. Going up a slight incline right here. But I would definitely need a bigger crank on here. Probably a 50-tooth crank. So I won't be ghost pedaling so much. So that'll be in my plans to change out as well. I plan on keeping this trike. I really do. I'd like to give it a better review, but on my first impression maiden ride, I'm not impressed. I change a couple things out, and it may help the comfort for sure for me. So I will just say the jury is still out on this one as far as I'm concerned. I don't just want to give the company a negative all the way if it's not deserved. But the tipping issue, they do deserve. I may have video of that as I was making that little turn and I hit this big rise in the concrete, and I started to go around it, and the tire come off the ground. The rear right tire, I believe. That's not cool. Not sure this seat is as comfortable as the TK1 as well. I may upgrade to a better seat. I tried my Blue One seat on this, but it wouldn't, the clamp wouldn't work to the seat on your left. And I wish this trike at this price point had cruise control too, and it does not. That's definitely a negative for this price point. The Mooncall TK1 does have it on the $16.99 bike. And if you order that one off my channel, you'll save $200. You can go to my Mooncall Trikes and you'll see that discount. Now, HJM, I got a buddy of mine that sold 2 or 3 of these on his channel already, and they haven't even issued him any kind of discount or commission for reviewing his bikes on their HJM tri-hauler like this one. I think that's kind of bad for a company to do that. If it's totally about the bottom line on your P&L, you're in the wrong business. Again, I'd say the same thing if it was trike was given to me. I mean, their customer support was pretty good when I first rode that first trike and I had to send it back. Within a week, I had a new one. They give me a chance to get my money back, take it to a bike shop, and then wait another 6 weeks after I got the parts. And I said, no, I'll just take a new one. And they give me that option. So I shipped the other one back. Fortunately, I did not throw out the box and the pallet on their damaged trike, and they sent a new one out within a week. That's pretty good. And it come out on a skid or a pallet, and that's the way all trikes and all e-bikes should be shipped. I know Mooncall don't like doing that because it costs them more money
but they would sure save a lot of money in damages on bikes that they shinned out in trikes. So yeah, I'll get some stem riser put on this. I will get my mirrors put on it. I'll get a better seat, bigger rotors, and then hook up my extra battery that I bought. Now their battery is almost $700 on their website. That's ridiculous for the 48 volt battery. I found one with good Samsung cells at $419. That'll go on the back of the seat post on this trike because it's made for a dual battery setup. But what they did not do is they didn't put a blender in the control area so you can hook both the batteries up. Now my buddy up in New Hampshire, they did. It was already in there. So I got a feeling once they watched his video or somebody and they found out that people were buying cheaper batteries elsewhere, they didn't put that connection in there anymore. Well, that wasn't a problem because I just ordered a new one on Amazon. So I will be blending these batteries so I can have 50 amp hours instead of 20. And like I said, I only paid $419 for that battery, verse 7 something. And what they did, what was kind of funny, on the plug-in on the back of this bike, they had 5 pins on there. So you would think it would take a 5-pin on the controller side to use to fit on that fitting. Well, my buddy found out when he took it out, there was only 2 wires going back to that plug that's sitting on the bike. And that's all you need anyway. And you do need a blender. You need a battery blender so you can run these 2 batteries together. But he said his bike already had the blender in there. Well, mine did not. So that's telling me right there, they didn't want people buying aftermarket batteries. But you can definitely buy aftermarket batteries with different plugs to fit in the same hole that this plug is sitting in. So I think HJM, that some of these bike companies get cute. They think we don't notice that stuff, but if you know what you're doing, and there's plenty of YouTube videos where you can figure out how to do this stuff yourself. Battery consumption so far is not great. I'm down to 69%, and I've only come 10 miles. I'm not real impressed with that. And I've been in pedal assist 2 and 3 most of the way, and not a whole lot of throttle either. So the battery usage to me is not real good either. So yeah, Gary up in New Hampshire, this has nothing to do with what you recommended to me. I'm certainly not going to give high marks like Gary did on his. And there was a couple of things he didn't like on it either, I know. I watch his videos. But that's why we do these as a content creator. That's why we do these videos for you guys. So you know what you're buying. It ain't like going to a bike shop, getting on that bike and riding it to test it out. If you're going to buy a bike, 99% are already built in China anyway. And if you've never ridden that bike, you don't know what it's going to feel like. Would I take this on a long bike ride? Absolutely. If I had the other battery, I would. I would probably do a 50 miler, maybe 75 on this trike. Not until I change the stem on it though to bring it up higher. I feel a little fatigued in my arms with the angle that I'm at. It needs to be higher for me. And if I put the seat up any higher, it's even going to make it farther of a reach. Yeah, we gave it a ride. We gave it somewhat of a review. Wasn't a real good review for HJM. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, I reached out to him to review it against the Mooncool TK1, and a buddy of mine, same way. They never even didn't even give us any sort of discount on this thing. And I thought right there, that's kind of bad on a company selling bikes and trikes at this price point, knowing these reviews are going to happen. Now, anybody else owns the HJM, let me know what your thoughts are on this trike. Once I get the stem riser, maybe that'll help it. I'll feel better on the bike. The seat definitely is not comfortable in my opinion. The saddle, I will be changing that out. Doing about 24 mile an hour. 23.8. As far as my bike computer goes anyway. Now the Mooncool TK1 only does 15.5, so. But a trike really don't need to be going this fast. But I wanted to show you what it would do, throttle only, pedal assist 5. And of course I'm not pedaling at all. I seem to be staying right at 23 mile an hour. These turn signals do not shut off on their own. On my radio flyer they do. As soon as you make that turn, them turn signals go off. That's another downside of this trike. Once you turn that turn signal on, it should go back off. You know, if it's only 5 seconds or whatever. So here I've been riding down the trail for quite a while, and I had the left turn signal, or left turn signal on, and people behind me are thinking I'm going to be turning left somewhere. But yeah, sorry HJM. So far I'm not impressed with your trike at all. Not at $25.99 I'm not. We're going to shut the video off right up here, and sorry for all the ranting and raving about the HJM, but I want to do good reviews for you guys. So yeah, share, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I will see you guys on the next video.